right, thanks for coming back, and thanks for joining us with us at the broadcast desk is Mr. Rat. Hello, Mr. Rat. How are you?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm doing fantastic.
Awesome.
I just laughed my headphones right off.
And joining us again is Pass the Mic. Pass the Mic, thank you very much for coming back again.
Beauty, man. Love doing it and happy to be here.
We are here to announce the Pennsylvania All-Stars versus the North Carolina All-Stars. And I will go through the Pennsylvania All-Stars roster. Number 18 and captain Vanessa V. Diva Seitz. Number 06, is Castro. Number 12 is Lazora. Number 55 is Kickash. Number 85 is Teflon Donna. Number 99 is Russian Bayou. Number 6 is Snot Rocket Science. Number 8 is Grohl, and she's also captain. Number 92 is Inga Nieher. Number 2 is Elysium. Number 44 is Helen Derink. Number 79 is Raggedy Aneurysm. Number 88 is Thumper. Number 81 is Veronica Getzberger. And number 15 is Gorgeous.
On the other side of the line for the North Carolina All-Stars, number 5, Coco Janelle from Appalachian Roller Girls. Number 6, Ava Gore from Carolina. Number 7, Aurora Thunder from the Carolina Roller Girls. Number 10, Deanne T. Christ from Carolina Roller Girls. Number 11, Bob and Weave from Rogue. 22 is Tutu LaRue from Appalachian. Number 30 is Missile Crisis, Cape Fear Roller Girls. Number 33, Grim Carey of Carolina. 57, Rosie Reckabilly from the Cape Fear Roller Girls. Number 121 is Q, Electrocution from Carolina. Number 313, JoJo Gadget from the Carolina Roller Girls. Coma Inducer, number 315 from Blue Ridge. Number 412, Mayhem West of Cape Fear. PYT, as always, wearing 711 from the Appalachian Roller Girls. And 3D 1040 from Rogue.
Now, I see a ref out there pushing a broom. He's doing some rink resurfacing. Is that a Zebroni?
No, you didn't do that.
I did.
You didn't do that.
I did.
Shame on you for doing that.
There's no bleep button either. That's out there.
There's no shame in roller derby.
But the answer is yes.
Zebroni. I like that. That goes along with my my tapeworms for the track repair crew.
We have Pennsylvania fans out there.
So this ought to be a good one. I'll tell you. I mean, obviously the odds-on favorite, Pennsylvania.
Yes, one reason is because they're undefeated in the Pennsylvania or the All-Star tournament. And this being the third year, they have not lost any of the games leading up to this.
I'm Tom Foolery. With me is...
Well, we should have a good one here. Carolina comes in full of confidence after a really solid game earlier, taking on New Jersey and winning that game 223-91. So we'll see what they can do with a massive task of taking on Pennsylvania. Right now, we're going to start this one off. Number 8, Grohl from Steel City, taking on Bob and Weave from the Rogue Roller Girls. Lead jammer status, guess what? It's going to go Pennsylvania's way. That is going to be the first lead jammer offered up as a sacrifice to the gods of roller derby. Bob and Weave going to go ahead and give chase, but she's going to have a little bit of room to make up right now.
Yes, and heading into the pack, she did call the jam. She picked up 1 point, giving Pennsylvania the 1-0 lead. The bench managers for Pennsylvania are Kitty and B.A., and the bench managers for North Carolina are Cool Hand Luke and Uncle Paul.
Duke. Cool Hand Duke. No, you know what? I do it 6 times a game. I went over to him after the last game and I said, you know what? I called you Luke again. He said, I figured you would. He doesn't blame me.
I have corrected that.
You know what? You get so inbred with that Cool Hand Luke. It's just it's really hard to change it up. Speaking of changing it up, Carolina looking to change it up right now, but the second verse, same as the first, lead jammer status, that's going to go right back over to the Pennsylvania All-Stars.
Yes, with number 81, Veronica Getzberger getting that lead.
Now Mayhem is going to break out. She's going to break on through to the other side, but she's got a long way to go. That's Mayhem West as the jammer. And now the jammer on the power jam. A track cut penalty coming. That's going to be Veronica Getzberger sitting.
Yes, so now Mayhem West and North Carolina will be able to take that lead away from Pennsylvania, even though it is only 1 point.
Now, I've got to wonder, I haven't been here for the previous 2. I wonder, has Pennsylvania ever trailed in a game in this tournament?
I can never remember if they have. I think from all the other teams that they've ever played, they might have had the closest being a 30-point gap.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're down right now by 4. North Carolina has 5 times the number of points that the Pennsylvania All-Stars have. Who'd have thunk it, Mr. Rat?
There's a first time for everything.
Well, listen, back to full strength for both squads now. And Mayhem forced out. Slow roll right by her bench, coming back in all the way back in turn number 4. No pack called, very quickly reforms. 1 to beat at the top of the pack, and here comes Mayhem, a little jammer action. How you like
that was great. And Mayhem just got what coming. Oh, no.
That's not good.
No, that is not. Veronica Getzberger did put a hit on Mayhem West, I guess giving her a hit after she was hit, and now she is down.
Well, she went down very, very quickly. She went down straight on her back, but she's been holding that knee and indicating that this is a knee issue. May have been on contact rather than on the fall, not sure, but that is a big, big blow for North Carolina if Mayhem is going to have continued issues with that knee. We'll see how she's going to do, but crew over there to take a look right now and see how she's doing.
Yeah, Mayhem West was a big part of their victory over New Jersey. I just hope that she can get up. I hope there's no problems. And with last year, North Carolina was their first time in the state's tournament. They went 3-3. They were the only team to play 6 games. It was remarkable. The fans were behind them because they seemed like they were the team that came in here. Nobody really knew what they were going to bring, and they also had a lot of them were sick. So them playing 6 games put a big toll on them, but they also did a great job, and them coming back here and winning the first game, it was impressive. I liked seeing them back here.
It appears that it is a left knee. That's what they've been looking at this entire time. Left knee or maybe hamstring. Tough to tell, but again, Mayhem is a big part of this team. She's a what I would call a power jammer. I mean, she's one of these girls, one of these skaters that she's not necessarily going to blind you with speed. But
Correct.
She's going to crunch every possible blocker on her way through, and she's going to fight her way through blocks that, quite frankly, some of the more agile skaters are going to have to dance around instead.
Yes, and like she did try to do against Getzberger, she came out and she tried to get some kind of an advantage and put a hit on her so she could, I guess, gain advantage for the jam.
Well, she paid for it on the second hit. I mean, she got the better of Getzberger on the first, and certainly not on the second. But again, we'll keep an eye on her. She appears to be, I mean, again, it looked worse probably when she first went down. I mean, she was kind of, gripping at her head and looked like she was in some considerable pain. That seems to have subsided at the very least. Again, the staff is taking a look at her, helmet off, and again, certainly she'll have to sit out the next 3. Hopefully it's a fairly minor thing, and we'll be able to see her back. You never want to see an injury at all, but certainly in an all-star tournament to see one of your, when your premier jammers going down this early in the game.
Definitely, especially, and I don't even know what to say about this. This is just bad way to start for North Carolina. One of their jammers going down, and Well, now it looks more like the right side. They've got they got both skates. Yeah, no, it is the left. It's that left knee, and they've got the skates off. And she is up, and she is walking.
And the crowd here, showing a little appreciation both for the EMTs that take care of our skaters, and also for Mayhem, who's going to walk off under her own power. Mr.
Right.
Rat.
Yes, it's good to see her standing up and walking off. We don't know anything just as yet, and hopefully we'll see her back on the track.
There you go. So quick recap, it is a 9-6 North Carolina lead. So a 3-point lead early in the first half. Yes. 27 minutes and 14 seconds on the clock.
From what I can see, Raggedy Aneurysm is the jammer for Pennsylvania, number 79.
The Antichrist for Carolina will be joining her there behind the jammer stripe at number 10. So we will get this thing underway. We're just about clear. And see if North Carolina can't pull off this stunning upset. I mean, they're up 3 already. Yeah. Take it back. It's now a 9-5. They've adjusted. So a 5-9. So a 4-point North Carolina lead. Who knew?
And here we go. Once again, we have the Antichrist at the line.
The Twitter scape is blowing up right now. Is this guy serious?
Yes.
Come on, really? Pass the mic. You are on drugs. What are you thinking? No.
North Carolina doing good with their defense, keeping Raggedy Aneurysm in the pack, and the Antichrist gets out of the pack as lead.
And a nice big blast there coming from number 313, JoJo Gadget, to try and lock down Pennsylvania's jammer, Raggedy Aneurysm, and really tried to slow her down. She did for the time being.
Yeah, the Antichrist went to the inside, and then V-Diva came out and knocked her down, slowed her down. The Antichrist called off the jam. She did pick up 3 points to extend that North Carolina lead.
There you go, 12-5. So potentially the largest deficit Pennsylvania's ever been in this. I'm going to stop there.
We have no statistical information to tell us that.
Grim Carey's going to step on up to the start line. She'll be joined there by Elysium.
Team's playing pretty clean, staying out of that box.
All right, Jammers actually trying to go through the middle of the pack is Elysium. No, I'm sorry, that
Grim Carey.
Grim Carey, thank you very much.
Listen, and I got to be honest with you, in this game, I don't suspect lanes 2 and 3 are going to be very easy. I mean, but they're going to be the best shots you got because both teams like to shut down the line.
Yeah.
Each team likes to shut down 1 and 4, and if they do that, there's nowhere to go but to the middle.
Right. And the defense is just going to be, punishing either way. The cut track going to Grim Carey, who in the game against New Jersey was a pivotal jammer for them in the second half, and she blocked very well in the first half.
Well, she's going to have an opportunity to think about her misdeeds in the meantime, and in between time, Elysium on the power jam with an opportunity here. She's going to score all 5 points on that pass.
And that will put Pennsylvania in the lead. Yes. 15-12 lead for Pennsylvania.
There you go, reclaiming the lead that they haven't held since jam number 1. Inside, outside, back in again. Nice move there. Tap of the helmet and a thumb wiggle. That tells you that's 5 big points in that pass. And she'll call the jam off right there as Grim had reclaimed her opportunity, and she was back out there on the track at the back of the pack.
All right, number 8, Grohl for Pennsylvania coming back onto the track.
Can't quite get a vision. That's going to be number 30 in red. That's Missile Crisis. And listen, now we're talking speed. Again, North Carolina is going to play that power game, but Missile Crisis is one of those jammers that can just absolutely flat out fly. If she can get clean, we'll see what happens. Right now, Grohl is going to be the first one out, one to beat, and she does quickly pass that pack. And Missile trying to take the inside line, nothing doing. Guess who shuts the door?
Yeah, V-Diva always, like Powerhouse, comes out and slows down the jammer and takes it to the outside.
Missile Crisis reset in the back of the pack.
So put the points on the board, call that jam off, and that's exactly what you want to do when you're jamming against Missile. So great job by V-Diva and by this entire Pennsylvania All-Stars team to shut down what was going to happen if Missile Crisis could have gotten out first.
Yeah, and I think if North Carolina wants a chance to win this game, and right now they have every chance in the world, they want to break up that defense. Stop the people from coming out of the pack and taking out their jammers.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, again, we're seeing some really, really solid play. Obviously, we know what to expect from Pennsylvania. Not really sure because, again, what do you expect from a North Carolina team against this behemoth in Pennsylvania? But again, really, really nice show. Bob and Weave with 3 out at front, and they're going to come together. We're going to have a multiplayer block penalty coming. That's on Coma Inducer, so she's going to have to take the long lap around past the point of no return.
And Bob and Weave is lead jammer with Getzberger coming up from behind, not quite yet to the pack. Bob and Weave goes down, calls the jam. She did pick up 3 points. Yeah, she did pick up 3 points on that jam.
Both teams with 1 in the box, both teams with a blocker in the box. So we'll go 3 on 3. Number 92, Ingenier.
Raggedy Aneurysm representing Pennsylvania.
Raggedy Aneurysm jamming for Pennsylvania. 5-second called.
Whistle's blowing, nobody moves, nobody in any real big hurry at this point. Both teams jostling for position, looking for a spot, looking for a hole. A one-on-one play at the middle of that first straightaway, and that's going to be JoJo Gadget.
Yeah, Raggedy Aneurysm was taken off the outside and had to get back behind the pack and still trying to make it through the pack. She does make it through the pack for lead.
Yeah, PYT, the last line of defense, could not make that connection in time. Oh, nice job there, jammer on jammer. The Antichrist did what she needed to do, and she's going to circle back around, see if they can't eat the baby. Don't know that that's going to happen. Don't know that Pennsylvania's going to play that game, but we'll find out just how deep they're going to go. They stretch out the defense very quickly, and the Antichrist finally says, all right, they're not going to fall for that. Let's go ahead and play some roller derby. Back to action. Everybody back into the engagement zone.
Yeah, and the Antichrist helping out with the defense against Raggedy Aneurysm. And it does work by taking her out to the outside.
Yeah, JoJo once again forcing her out. And you know, listen, that's a place that she's very comfortable. JoJo Gadget's going to love just sitting there lane 4, blocking it up, clogging it up, and forcing you out.
Gets recycled to the back. Now all skaters skating backwards.
Yeah, both jammers being recycled about a quarter of the way of the track. Raggedy Aneurysm did pick up 5 points. She still has control of this lead.
Oh, nice move there to get a bye.
The Antichrist able to break free.
The Antichrist off and running. Big old smile on her face. She finally made her way through. There's an elbow penalty coming. I'm not sure if that was
number 5, Coco Janelle, it looks like.
It, yeah. It sure did.
One thing that from the rosters for North Carolina, 2 players that are not on this roster that were on the roster last year and pivotal. One was Betty Switch, who is now with Philly Roller Derby. The other is Slinging Grits, and she was a very impressive blocker for them last year.
Yeah, Grits is Grits is grits. What do you say about that? I mean, you know, listen, she's a valuable member of the team, and to not have her here this week is going to be a tough one for them. But we'll see how they handle it as we sit 31-15. So Pennsylvania up by 16 at the 20-minute mark as we blow this whistle. In play again.
Number 2 Elysium, who was lead jammer, got a back block penalty sent to the penalty box. And number 33, Grim Carey, on the track all by herself, being recycled behind Teflon Donna.
Yeah, and Donna takes her all the way back into turn number 1 before able to get back on the track. A nice little head move, a hip wiggle, a shake, and a jiggle. Oh, that'll be a track cut, and we're going to have ourselves a switch of the penalty box. So jammer, switcheroo. Grim Carey will take the seat.
That was a nice job by Thumper by knocking her off and I guess catching her unaware when she got back on the track.
Yeah, she was about a tenth of a second from landing that and being in play and forced right back out very, very quickly, and the track cut was forced. So a nice inside track move for the 5-point pass. Elysium doing what she's got to do, stretching out this Pennsylvania lead.
Missile Crisis waiting for number 2, Elysium, as they take her off the track once again. And tough. Both Pennsylvania and North Carolina were bridging back as both jammers had to come behind the pack.
Yeah, Rosie's doing a nice job there one-on-one with Elysium. Not once, but twice forcing her out of play. First on the outside, then on the inside, and now she's going to force the track cut. And you know what? Elysium knows exactly what happened. She knew immediately as soon as she did it, and there was no way she could get out in or behind Missile Crisis. But I'm telling you right now, that penalty right there, that was generated by Rosie.
And that is the second power jam of this jam. And North Carolina did not pick up any points. Pennsylvania held them scoreless, even though they did. They put 3 points up there. Okay.
Yep, 3 points coming up, like 4 points now. Matter of fact, they've added an extra one. So it was an 8-4 jam for Pennsylvania. And now they're going to add another for Pennsylvania, now taking one away. So good Lord, listen, the score is something to something. Pennsylvania leads by some number, and we're just going to roll. How you like that? 39-16 17 is what the scoreboard shows right now. A power start opportunity, and V Diva says none shall pass.
Yeah, she put a big hit. Now Kick-Ash also putting a big hit on 3D, but 3D was able to stay on the track and get through. She does have lead. V Diva sent to the penalty box as 3D approaches and is in the pack and through 4-5.
There you go, 5-point pass. 3D with an opportunity here to lock this thing up a little bit tighter. V Diva sits up, down. Yeah, not so much. Almost had it. What a jump.
Yeah, there was an apex jump, and Kick-Ash was on the other side to put the hit on her.
Yeah, she had some airtime on that one. I mean, that looked like Michael Jordan from the free throw line as high as she got in the air. Forced out of bounds by 2-2 LaRue.
Yeah, Snot Rocket Science now has the jammer cover.
How much fun is she to watch?
Oh, she's.
You know, I mean, I've had the good grace of being able to call 6, 7, 8 games, and just watching her play is it's almost mesmerizing to the point where you really can't pay attention to the game and call it properly because you're just watching the footwork. It's just fun.
And the hit she's taking by North Carolina and still able to stay upright. And she did just get through for her initial pass.
Yeah, 3D's going to go ahead and call that jam off, but I'll tell you something. This is that lineup right there. It was a brutal North Carolina defense, so she was taking some licks, no doubt about that. 11-0 jam in favor of North Carolina. So a 28-39, 11-point lead for Pennsylvania at just inside 16 minutes, Mr. Rapp.
Yeah, North Carolina doing a good job of their defense on that power jam, and even when their jammer the Pennsylvania jammer got onto the track, they were still able to keep her from not getting any points.
Yeah, we're going to have an official review, it looks like, right now, and they're pointing to Pennsylvania, although now they are. Okay, there we go. I was looking for a Pennsylvania coach up there to be having some conversation, and they do indeed have it. So we've got an official review by Pennsylvania. We'll see how that one plays out. Unfortunately, in this tournament, we do not have the extra ref, the announcer ref to come feed us the information. So we just have to kind of play it by ear and guesstimate what we think has happened. I didn't see anything that Pennsylvania would be challenging. Any clue?
No. I have to, unless the only thing I could speculate is when Kick-Ash knocked down the jammer, and the jammer, North Carolina jammer, came back onto the track. That is really the only thing that I could even have in my mind to think about what it would be.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with this one. If there's a change of any kind, we'll bring you up to speed. In the meantime, we sit.
Another point has been added to the scoreboard for North Carolina, so Pennsylvania now has a 10-point lead, not 11.
Well, it's still early, so we'll wait and figure it out. But yes,
yeah, very, very early still, first half. But, you know, I don't know how much of this I want to admit out loud. Because I know that some of, you know, I mean, again, I'm not from North Carolina. I'm from South Carolina. There is a difference, believe it or not. But I know that a lot of my friends in the Carolinas are listening in right now. And, you know, I don't want to sound like a homer for North Carolina, and I certainly don't want to sound like a pessimist at the same time. But I will say this. We as a collective announcing team unit pretty much said, I mean, you know, look, North Carolina is going to have their hands full with Pennsylvania. Now, Pennsylvania's in the lead. They're doing well.
Yep.
I don't know that anybody would have suspected that with, you know, 15:50 to go that this would be a 10-point game.
Yes, exactly.
Or or a 39-29 score either. That's very, very low score.
Right. And it also could be that both teams are feeling each other out, and Pennsylvania, if they do feel that they're not working completely well, that they're going to have to get themselves together and recollect themselves and just adjust something to.
They're a more experienced team. They have more experienced skaters.
Yes.
They have significant talent on the team. Now, if one team or another is going to win the battle of adjustments, we would suspect that team is going to be Pennsylvania because they've got the capacity to win the battle of those, you know, adjustments in the middle of the game.
Right, and they've been together longer.
Oh, no question about that. No question about that. Although now I will say, and I said it earlier in the first game that I called with Carolina, that this team does get a chance to play very, very much together. A lot of the leagues in North Carolina, the larger leagues anyway, where some of those talent accumulations begin, are close enough to one another that we really start to see a lot of scrimmaging and a lot of mismatched or mix and match teams, if you will. These players skate against each other a lot, and they skate with each other quite a bit as well, even outside of the All-Star tournaments.
Okay, after this review, 3D is now sitting in the penalty box. So V-Diva will be on the power start for Pennsylvania.
So there you go, a successful challenge by Pennsylvania. So good on you. And oh my. Let me tell you something about strategy after this jam.
Okay.
V-Diva has strapped on the star.
Yes.
I can tell you that, let me just say that I was told by somebody with inside knowledge of the situation that V-Diva was not planning on jamming until the finals, and if necessary, at that. The fact that she's in right now says something about how Pennsylvania feels about this strong North Carolina team.
Definitely. And since they see North Carolina as a threat, putting V-Diva in there, who has jumped the apex and did not make it, so she has to go back behind the pack. If putting V-Diva in there just shows that they think that they what?
V-Diva, let me tell you, she's fine. It's just it's like we'll call it a hip pointer or a coccyx burner.
Yeah, I'll just finish with this. Pennsylvania right now looks like they are seeing North Carolina as a threat, and putting Diva in there means that they want to at least stretch it out and get at least a 20-point jam if that's possible.
Yeah, V-Diva came down right on that tailbone, it looks like, and she's smarting a little bit. Trust me when I tell you, she'll be fine and she'll be back. I guarantee it.
Oh, definitely.
Let's see, we got Grohl at the line right now taking
all right,
on
number
Bob
8, Grohl for Pennsylvania is on the line going against Bob and Weave for North Carolina. Grohl gets taken off by, and yes, Grohl is being sent off the track for a cut track.
There you go, Bob and Weave with an opportunity right now. Not sure if she realizes she's got it, but there she goes. Now she picks up the intensity a little bit. She realizes now she's got that power jam opportunity. No pack call, no choice but to let her float, so she will. And there she goes. Now she's got the lead jammer. She's feeling it. Look at her dancing, coming around right into turn number 1. She's having a good time, ready to go. A 4-wall forms up front, blue jerseys all. We'll see if she's able to get free. She's going to get some help. A couple of jammers coming in. Here comes PYT to lay a hit. Coco jumping in there to help out. She's going to have to drop back. Off we go.
Yeah, the blocker that actually caused the cut track was Coco Janelle, number 5 for North Carolina. Grohl is back on the track. North Carolina picked up 5 points on that jam.
Yeah, and called it off right then and there, and in perfect timing because, again, that would have been points on the board if she didn't get that called off, just the way they were spread out and lean.
Raggedy aneurysm for Pennsylvania. And once we see who is North Carolina's jammer, we will let you know. It's Missile Crisis for North Carolina. 2 fast jammers behind the jammer. Oh, Missile Crisis puts a hit on Raggedy Aneurysm at the whistle.
And she didn't like that one bit, did she? Look at the look on her face and the fire and intensity in her feet as she is fighting, working hard to get through there.
Yeah, North Carolina doing a great job of bracing and keeping Raggedy Aneurysm in the pack.
And how about Missile on Teflon Donna? Now Tutu's going to sit down. Tutu LaRue heading to the penalty box. Both jammers get out, get through, but we're going to have ourselves a penalty. It's a track cut penalty coming. That's going to go against Carolina, and that's going to be a power jam opportunity now for Raggedy Aneurysm.
Yes.
Missile Crisis takes a seat.
Yes, if Pennsylvania can open up the lanes against North Carolina, Raggedy Aneurysm can put up some big points.
Well, I'll tell you what, she came out mad. I mean, when she got that hit off the line, clearly not expecting it and clearly did not like that one bit. She came out on fire. Certainly calmed down now. She's back in her skates and ready to go and really doing great work now for Pennsylvania. Front of the line, 1 to beat, and she does. Takes it on the outside line. Missile Crisis will come in to complete the the 4-wall and the power jam. takes a licking and keeps on ticking. 2 blue jerseys go down, including Raggedy Aneurysm.
V Diva looked like she went down, like her leg got twisted underneath of her. She is up and skating off. She got up a little gingerly. Oh, and Raggedy Aneurysm being sent to the penalty box for a cut track.
Well, I'll tell you something. I mean, again, I don't want to read too much into it, but V Diva, when she got up, she was grabbing that tailbone again, as if she had maybe come in contact with it once again. So again, minor. I mean, she's skating and looks fine, not an issue, but something to watch. 1-on-1 at the top of the line now. 2. No pack call, no choice but to let her go, but only as far as V Diva's chest, and she is stopped right there. And Missile Crisis forced out of play. That whistle is going to blow right there and come to an end. A nice job by Pennsylvania, even despite a couple of jammer penalties and back and forth play. But Pennsylvania is going to pick up 11 points to 5 on North Carolina, scores 62-39.
And we have another review.
She got right back down, recycled herself, got back in the action.
Looks like North Carolina is calling the review.
Pennsylvania. Right now we got an official review.
Now we'll check back in and see exactly what that's all about if we get the opportunity. Let's recap real quick, because that may end up being what we're talking about, as it is right now 62-39 at the 10:47 mark. We'll see if anything changes from a scoring standpoint. We've got an instant replay right now. Let's take a look at this.
Don't want to have that smelly bag anymore. Make sure you pick up some Sweat X and get the funk out of your gear.
I'm not sure if we're going to be able to see it in time. We'll keep on looking and see what we can find.
I wanted to take a look at that, the start from that last jam. I don't think we got the aggression that she came out with.
Well, we'll take a look at that. Again, the tap right there, boom. Now, just watch the footwork. Watch the fury. Oh, no, not going to get that.
Check out our food trucks outside supplying us food.
Nice quick look, though, back at the initial tap. So, nice catch there.
Make sure you stop over and check out Apex Skate Shop. Get all your skating.
Very aggressive. Listen, I mean, and North Carolina knows this. This is not a secret. North Carolina knows that if they're going to have a chance to stay in this game, they've got to play aggressive and they've got to do some things big. So, expect them to do big things big.
Yes.
And listen, that means that they're going to commit some penalties.
Yep, and I know that they know how to play that way.
You are right there.
And I'm not saying that they're doing anything bad, but like electrocution, she is a tough blocker.
Oh yeah,
and she will put a big hit on you, and I think she can spur the rest of her team on to get in that mindset, saying, "Listen, we need to buckle down and we need to put some points on the board and stop the other jammer from doing anything."
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, she doesn't take up a lot of space on the track until you start the whistle. And as soon as the whistle blows, she's 4 wide into the walls. I mean, it's kind of amazing to watch her with that long, lean body and that lateral movement back and forth, able to just, make things happen.
Yeah, very tall skater who actually in the New Jersey game, I saw her get very big. For as thin and tall as she is, she made herself look monstrous against the other blockers or jammers that were coming at her.
Nice. No doubt about that. Looks like we've got the tapeworms working diligently, checking out the track repair team, making sure that everything is taped down as should be. Looks like the announcement has been made. We'll see if anybody's happy or not, but off they are. Looks like we are ready to roll.
Yeah, Raggedy Aneurysm is standing in the penalty box. North Carolina will have the penalty start, but not for too long.
Yeah, so power start opportunity for North Carolina. They're going to go right back to 3D. So 3D with an opportunity, if she can find her way through that pack. She's not going to have much time because, as you said, Aneurysm was up and standing at the whistle. Aneurysm back on the track and comes in contact with a nice big 4 wall there, blocking the way. They're going wide, and there she goes, 3D.
It's not rocket science, who was actually heading to the penalty box, was blocking 3D, giving everything she got. And 3D did get around her, very close to being out of bounds and getting a cut track, but she was able to stay on the track. She got 4 points 3D did as she got through the pack.
Well, she's going to have an opportunity to get 2 ghost points here because the penalty box just doubled up, now tripled. Are you kidding me? Raggedy Aneurysm heading to the box. So a power jam opportunity and a 4-on-2 power jam opportunity. This is big, but look at this. 1-on-1. Are you kidding me? Look at the work.
Russian Bayou is a menace of a blocker. She did a great job against 3D. And she was also there for that hit. Oh, but she does get sent off for a penalty.
Hey, listen, you'll take that penalty every time when you're down 2 blockers and your jammer, and you're the last line of defense against the jammer coming strong.
Yes.
Wow.
One thing, talking about the mindset of being angry, 3D epitomized that with the look on her face and her charging at those Pennsylvania blockers, saying, you know what, I'm going to get through this pack. You're not going to stop.
Yeah, you know what, that's absolutely true, but that determination and that fire came out of her very, very quickly when she got her clock cleaned over here coming into turn number 3. And I'll tell you what, you get hit that hard, I don't care who you are, you're going to lose a little edge right there. So it took her a second to reclaim it, and that jam ended up getting called. So we're back to work.
Yeah, Ava Gore, number 6 for North Carolina, gets through the pack, is lead. And Raggedy Aneurysm passes the star to V-Diva.
Big collision there.
Yes. Ava Gore got taken off the inside, called the jam from her back, picking up 2 points for North Carolina.
2 points picked up by Ava Gore.
Pennsylvania up by 12 points, 62-50, with 8.5 minutes left in this half.
Yeah, that's a 2-0 run for North Carolina. They're going to come right back at it. Bob and Weave will jam this time around for North Carolina. She'll be side by side and elbow to elbow with V-Diva, at least for a moment. We'll see how that plays out.
Both North Carolina and Pennsylvania braced, waiting for the jammers to come across the line. And V-Diva, who is the jammer for Pennsylvania, gets through quickly, becoming lead jammer.
Yeah, Rosie did a nice job there trying to brace, but I mean, listen, when V-Diva wants to go somewhere, she's going where she wants to go.
And Bob and Weave actually made quick work of the pack herself, getting a quarter way around the track and getting through, but she was not lead jammer. So V-Diva picks up 4 points and calls the jam.
And look at this. V-Diva just waved over to the bench and said, no, I'm staying.
Yeah.
So she took the star, finished the jam, took the star again, finished the jam, and is taking the star again. This will be the 3rd straight jam where V-Diva served as jammer. Now, the first one was a pivot pass.
Correct.
But
yep. Yeah, it just shows me that Diva's not seeing what she wants out of Pennsylvania right now, or at least where North Carolina is just doing a better job than they expected.
And there's your answer. You said it a minute ago, and there it is. Q comes in and pushes V-Diva around. Now, again, V-Diva gets out pretty quick after that, but Q did a nice job there of slowing her down long enough, hopefully, to get her jammer through. Jammer faced a whole lot of scrutiny there and a whole lot of opposition, could not make her way through. And V-Diva slices, dices, cuts, and throws herself through for another 5-point pass.
Yeah, the Antichrist is the jammer for North Carolina. Oh, she passed the star to Grim Carey. So V-Diva gets the 4 points, calls off the jam.
Yeah, she was face-to-face right there with Q at the end of that one and calls the jam again right where she needed to. So nice job by V-Diva. Puts the points on the board, stretches out that lead, takes the time off the clock, and resets.
You know, Pennsylvania has a 25-point lead. V-Diva picked up 9 points. Number 8, Grohl for Pennsylvania behind the jammer line, waiting to see who. Ava Gore, number 6, is the North Carolina jammer.
Whistles blowing off. We go back to the races once again. Fast start, and there she goes. Grohl once again. Out first, out front, lead jammer status has been assigned to her.
Ava Gore weaving and bobbing through Pennsylvania's pack. She did take a little bit to get through, completely not being the lead jammer, which is being called by Grohl. She picks up 3 points. That's as many fingers I can see.
Yeah, kudos to PYT and Tutu LaRue there in the back of the pack for North Carolina. They really kind of shut the door there and forced that call off because at the time Ava Gore was racing around the track trying to get back into the engagement zone.
And V-Diva is back behind the jammer line.
Wow. You know what? I'm telling you, listen, again, there are no moral victories in roller derby, but if you're North Carolina, if you're a fan of North Carolina and you're watching this, you are jumping up and down and screaming with joy right now every time you see V-Diva behind that jammer stripe in the first half.
And she is going, V-Diva is going against Missile Crisis, who just got taken off the inside, gets back on behind.
Oh, look at that. Nice job. Sorry about that. Q came in, forces V-Diva out on the inside line, and that was enough. Now she's going to go to the penalty box, but in the meantime and in between time, lead jammer status is in Missile Crisis's possession. Now she's going to go down in a heap straight away, number 2. Snot locked her down and forced her out, took her back and forces the call off, but a nice job there working versus V-Diva.
Yep, for a second, the refs didn't know who lead jammer was. I believe it's because it looked like V-Diva might have came out of the pack first, but it did not seem so.
Well, you saw Missile, admonishing, begging for it. They're like, give it to me, make the sign. This is how you do it.
Electrocution is going to start in the penalty box for this jam. Raggedy Aneurysm behind the jammer line. She's going against Bob and Weave.
Yeah, this has been a good one so far. And a good matchup. This jammer matchup right here should be another good one. And Bob and Weave has not had the kind of success in this game as she has in the earlier game, I should say. And she comes up against a big, massive 4-wall. A little help from Aneurysm. We're going to get a penalty coming right now
on Castro, who
looked like a forearm.
Yeah, she was blocking on Bob and Weave, pushing her across the track, so it did look like a forearm.
And a nice job at the top of the track. And look at that. North Carolina able to shut things down long enough for Bob and Weave to get out of there.
North Carolina holding Raggedy Aneurysm in the pack. Remember, she can really get through the pack pretty quickly, but they're doing a great job with their defense. North Carolina blocker went into the penalty box for a
Rosie
clockwise block.
Rosie Rockabilly, she'll take a seat. Nice job there, back of the pack. Are you kidding me?
3 points goes on the board for North Carolina.
The Antichrist did a nice job there, one-on-one blocking.
North Carolina making a statement in this first half with 2.5 minutes to go in the half.
22-point lead, and we're going to have number 6 versus number 6. This ought to be a good one as well. Ava Gore coming in for North Carolina.
Both jammers attacking the walls.
Yeah, giving Ava Gore a real hard time.
Oh, and Snot Rocket Science gets her foot caught on one of the North Carolina blockers, but is able to get through for lead.
Coco's going to go to the box. Oh, big hit there. Holy cow. Ava just took it in the cheek.
Yeah, Thumper and Teflon Donna converged on the outside and knocked her off the track.
Kick-Ass did a nice job there trying to escape a block to lay a hit. Couldn't quite make it, but a nice move. And there again, another big hit coming on Snot Rocket Science. Not once, but twice. And how on... Oh, she did. Okay. I was going to say, how on earth did she stay in bounds after that?
She was one... North Carolina picked up 3. Pennsylvania picked up 4. Snot Rocket Science was on one skate, spinning, and then had to fall out of bounds on the inside.
86-59. 1 minute, 20 seconds to go. We're going to have an official review, so that'll stop everything here for a few minutes. North Carolina wants to talk things over, evidently, so we'll see what that's all about if we get an opportunity. Meanwhile, man, can I catch my breath?
Yes, this is a very, very exciting game. I'm glad that it's exciting because the way North Carolina came into the tournament last year, I think they brought it all back, saying, you know what? We can make a lot of headway in this tournament, and we're going to do it. And we have to play Pennsylvania. We have to play Pennsylvania. Last year, when these two teams played, Pennsylvania won 232-88.
Right. Yeah, big deficit there. By the way, speaking of big deficit, Pennsylvania is going to get an extra point added on, so now a 9-3 last jam makes it 87-59. So an extra point for Pennsylvania can't hurt them.
Beer is free. You need IB. No one without an ID.
Tons and tons and tons of action already in the early going here. We've got inside of a minute and a half to play. The clock says 1:25, so this could very easily be the last jam of this first half, and what a first half it's been. I'm telling you, we're going to want to watch this one on record, and we're going to have to watch this one on loop for a couple of days just to catch up with everything that we're missing. Listen, for every hit that we talk about, for every blast that we mention, there's 5 more that are going on that we can't catch and can't see based on position.
Right. This actually might be a game that a lot of teams that come to the tournament or want to come to the tournament look at to see how North Carolina approached Pennsylvania.
Great point.
And get their strategies.
Yeah, great point. And again, the score is Pennsylvania's, but to see, and again, I don't even want to say the words again. The reality is that North Carolina is going into the locker room very, very happy with their performance right now.
Oh, definitely. And they should be happy that they have allowed themselves to. Hang around is not the right term, but that's what the one I'm going to have to use.
No, I think it is, though. No, but it is.
They're keeping themselves in this game, giving themselves an opportunity in the second half to make a big comeback. And even though it's not a huge score, they could probably wipe it out in 2 jams.
Well, listen.
And take control.
I don't have the stats in front of me. I'd love to see them, and we're going to see if we can't find them during the half. I'd love to see when the last time this Pennsylvania team was held under 100 points in a half.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, moral victories, but they are what they are. Now, when you take a look at this thing, Pennsylvania is going to come back and they're going to make some adjustments, and things are going to be different on both sides of this game when we come back from the half, if we get to the half. But, again, what this team has done is nothing short of exciting anyway, and we'll see if it can be remarkable. And listen, you know what? I mean, we both know who's playing this game.
Yes.
And we can make apologies, we can make excuses and all of that. At the end of the day, what's really happening here is that the fact that it's this close, the fact that Carolina is having a modicum of success says to us, okay, is this the Cinderella story we've been waiting for all morning? Because, the games have not really been particularly close, as is normally the case on a Friday of the tournament.
Right.
But here you have number one going against, and the perennial number one.
Yes.
Going against a team that's again, kind of a pain in the backside to them so far here in the first half. Won't go away.
Looks like we're going to start this jam with a blocker side in the box.
All right, 2 blockers each team in the penalty box.
That's Grohl up in the line as well for Pennsylvania.
Waiting. Okay, looks like number 8 Grohl is the Pennsylvania jammer.
Crisis helping out, playing a little defense.
And Missile Crisis is the jammer for North Carolina. Oh, and a cut track called on Grohl for Pennsylvania.
And that's an opportunity right now. Let's see if Missile Crisis can capitalize. She's not having a whole lot of luck getting through this pack, but she's going to keep on trying in a renewed sense of spirit, knowing that she's got that power jam. And man, V-Diva just slammed her down.
Thumper, who came back onto the track after being in the penalty box, helps bridge back Missile Crisis with Castro now. Gorgeous also in waiting to get a piece of Missile Crisis.
Well, I'll tell you what a fantastic power jam kill right there. I mean, Grohl is coming back in, and we have not moved. We have been right here in the exit of 1 and the entrance of 2 since the penalty was called. And look at that. The only jammer out is going to be Grohl, and she's free and clear on her scoring pass now.
Yeah, Missile Crisis got cut to the inside, or not cut, but she got knocked to the inside, back up, and Gorgeous bumps her out with the help of Thumper and Castro.
Listen, you're being generous there. That was not a bump. That was a bump. I mean, she just blasted her down to the ground. I mean, a good shot.
Giving props to Gorgeous's husband lowering the boom. He is Coach Boom.
That's it.
Thumper in the penalty box. V-Diva out of the penalty box. And Missile Crisis back on the track, looking like she's not having much fun.
Well, listen, I mean, I think everybody is having a ton of fun and no fun at the same time because of what's going on in this game. V Diva with the 5 spot. She's got another opportunity here as she comes very, very quickly around back to the engagement zone, puts on 4 and calls the jam and gives a little clap as she will. Nice job there. Pennsylvania goes ahead, ringing in the halftime. I believe we're going to see they've got 9 points up for Pennsylvania. I believe there was another pass, but I could be wrong. I guess it was just the 2 V-Diva passes. So there you go. That will be your halftime score, 96-59. Pennsylvania on top.
Yeah, this has been an exciting game. Let's see what North Carolina can put together in the second half and see if Pennsylvania makes any adjustments to widen that.
Well, that's going to be the thing to watch is the adjustments made at the halftime. I'm Pastor Mike.
And I'm Mr. Rat.
We'll be back right after this. 9 minutes to go, and we'll be back to see you then. There's one in every crowd.
That's the first time we've had somebody do a high mound.
And that's Coach Boom.
I wonder if we'll get maybe if somebody behind the glass over there will hold up like the John 316
John 316 sign, wearing a rainbow wig.
Yeah, where's that guy?
Wow, well, there you go. I'm waiting for you to bring us back in.
Oh, no.
What do you mean you're good? You guys are good to go. Our mics have been live for a minute, and we're just staring at you and pointing at you. And
really? Yeah, no.
I'm just glad I didn't say anything about anybody.
Like, where the hell have you been, Chad? What's going on? All right, so anyway, we're back. I'm Kent the politician, and
I'm the only Mr. Rat.
all right, I'll own up to being past the mic this time around. But so here we sit, 14-3 on that last jam to finish up, and Pennsylvania 101, North Carolina 59 to start this thing. I got to tell you, we went walking past the team locker room areas. Two very, very different personalities in that room. In the Carolina room, almost jubilant for the first few minutes. Now they settled back down, but almost jubilant as they came off of the track and just high-fiving each other and very, very excited about where they were and the position they were in. On the Pennsylvania side, they went to work very quickly, went into the corner of the track, sat quickly, started listening, and the look on their faces was one of concentration. They were in.
Yeah, they're going to try and make those adjustments. They don't. They didn't want to put all their blame on the jammers because the blockers, if they're disappointed in the way their blockers played, they just need to make some adjustments to help them get through and score more points. Even though they do have a relative nice lead, not crazy lead, not like 100 points like they probably wanted to be. We are into the first jam of the second half with Snot Rocket Science jamming, who has lead.
Bob and Weave forced out a play there in turn number 4, so she's not clear on her first scoring, or on her first pass, I should say. But on the scoring pass, Snot comes in, comes through, and picks them up.
Yeah, gets in, moves from inside to outside, and does a spin to get around the North Carolina through for the points.
Well, and I would have thought that first pass was a 5-point pass. The referee had only 4 fingers up and is doing so again. She's burying that thumb. She's giving 4 points. That's going to end up being reviewed. Now, Bob and Weave having an equipment issue that has gotten her sidelined. She is off the track.
Yeah, she's screwing in the toe stop on her skate.
Nice job in the front of the pack right now. Carolina finally coming back together and coalescing around the nucleus there in electrocution. Q locking things down, laying hits on her way back to the back of the line.
Pennsylvania looked like they got their blocking together with a little bit of brace against Bob and Weave. Oh, in North Carolina, number 313, JoJo Gadget puts a block to compress the pack. Actually does not help her jammer get through the pack, though.
Yeah, Bob and Weave is not having the same game that she had earlier this afternoon, and she's struggling a little bit against these stronger, bigger, more athletic blockers that Pennsylvania is throwing at her. So she will come back. She's a newer skater. She'll be fine, but great job there.
Yeah, Pennsylvania looked like in that jam they were putting on heavier. Oh, we have an official timeout. Looked like they were putting on bigger hits, trying to set a tone for the second half, saying, you know what, we're done playing around. We're ready to add some more points on this and spread this lead out.
Well, you can see that in that jam right there. That was a 20-0 jam. So, again, really, really putting the pedal down.
And V-Diva is behind the jammer line.
had some discussions again as during that halftime, and some of the fans here in the arena were in the rink were really surprised that they saw V Diva that early in this game. And just like that.
Yeah, Avagor is the jammer for North Carolina. V Diva gets through 4 lead. Gorgeous against, yes, the Pennsylvania All-Stars did send Ava Gore to the inside.
Well, Ava's got to climb all the way back into the backside of turn number 2 before she can reassess where she's at. And while she does, V Diva's actually gone ahead and put another 5 spot on the board. So now Ava's out. She is eligible for some points, and she's flying around the track. Down low, and Diva on the spin move, tap out.
Okay, the North Carolina coach or bench manager is calling for a cut track. V Diva's skate was on the line. I'm not going to say if it was a cut track because her skate did spin around.
It did.
Let's take a look at the replay.
Yeah, we'll see the replay here in a second. Sir Lancelot did not call it, and that's who would have called it if it was seen. I mean, he was right there.
I don't see it.
We'll take another look at it right here as she comes around on the replay. Right there. Tough to see. Nope.
Yeah, the ref is obscuring the view.
Yep.
Which is good because that means that he's looking at it.
Yes.
Well, you do see, you do see a skate come off.
I don't think that's hers.
But I don't know that it is hers. That's a tough call right there. It's really difficult
yeah.
to see. Let's watch one more time and see if we can't figure out whose skate that is that cycles out. Yeah, that's a red jersey.
Yeah, that doesn't look like Diva's skate.
All right, we'll have to see what happens after this review.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to win this one, to be honest with you. I mean, Cool Hand Duke is pretty adamant about the fact that that was a track cut, but I don't think he's going to win that fight. Just based on what we saw, I think that the referees are probably going to stand by their call on that one.
Yeah, it's a tight call to make. And on the track right now, ready to, after this review is over, Electrocution and Grim Carry, who, to me, as far as the first game was concerned, they were a big part of that win, and Electrocution's already showed her what she can do against V Diva in this game. Just have to see if North Carolina can slow down Pennsylvania to pretty much get what they had in the first half.
Well, listen, and we talked about it just before we broke, that, who was going to win the war of adjustments. And so far, that's been Pennsylvania. Now, again, very, very early at 26:43 of the second. Very, very early in the second half. But Pennsylvania came out. They came out fast. They came out strong, and they came out nasty.
Yes. And right now, Pennsylvania with a 60, if I can do my math, 67-point lead.
Yep.
Which they might be happy with that, just giving them a little cushion. So we can see what happens after this review is over.
Well, and they did break the century mark before the half was over at 101. So, they did. I trust me when I tell you, they were not going into the half without having scored 100 points.
Right. And now they're probably just trying to let's get to 100 points, and then we can relax a little, but still put on the pressure against North Carolina. Just so everybody knows what's going on. I hope you're enjoying this tournament so far. Next up is going to be New Jersey against Maine at 8 o'clock.
Well, then tomorrow morning we've got more action coming in, and again, you got to love Saturday all day long. Saturday starting at 8 a.m. We're going to have the West Virginia versus Massachusetts game. Coming up after that at 10 o'clock, it's going to be Ohio taking on whoever loses game number 6, which would be the next game coming up right after this one, if I'm not mistaken. We'll take a peek.
This is game 6.
We are on game 6, aren't we? Oh, there we go. There you go. Well, that's exactly what we're looking for then. There you go. So the loser of this game will take on Ohio tomorrow morning at 10 a.m.
And that will be a great game in itself because Ohio has been doing pretty well, even though they did, let's see, who did they play in the first game? Do you recall? Do we have
Ohio in their first game
Okay.
took on West Virginia,
Yes.
and it was a pretty big. I think we can call it a blowout,
That's
356
true.
to 60.
Yeah, and but when they played New York, it was a pretty tough game. Ohio was sticking with them. I believe they lost by 100 points.
No. It was no. Are you kidding? No, it was 212 to 158.
Okay, all right then.
Yeah.
I must have been sleeping during that.
Ohio made a very, very tight game of that, much like Carolina has done so far in this one. So we're back to action. Not sure exactly where we're going to end up, other than the fact that we are at a 128 to 61 Pennsylvania lead. Both jammers break on through to the other side, one before the other, and that's going to be
raggedy aneurysm.
Yes, sir. Lead jammer status, and she was going to grab a couple of points and call that one off.
She picked raggedy aneurysm, picked up 2 points on that pass, very quickly getting into the pack and calling off the jam as she knew North Carolina's jammers was right behind her.
You know, surprising to me, to be perfectly honest with you, that we continue to see PYT acting as a blocker when we've seen Bob and Weave having some trouble from the jammer stripe. I would have expected Cool Hand Duke might have opted to switch those two out a little bit and give at least give an opportunity to PYT, who is a formidable jammer. We'll see if that comes. In the meantime, right now, lead jammer status is going to go back to North Carolina. It's the Antichrist from the Carolina Roller Girls, and they have control right now. And a big, huge lead up, down, and good. Russian Bayou tried to block off the apex, but could not get it. The Antichrist, look at her. How excited, how happy is she?
Oh, yeah. You could, North Carolina right there, just with that excitement at the end of the jam, showed, you know what, we're not dead. We're not out of this yet. Just because Pennsylvania has had the edge the last couple jams in the second half, we can still come back from this if we put our heads together.
No doubt about it. They are having a good time. That much I can promise you. The Antichrist able to lock in 4 points for her team, and we'll go right back to work. I believe that's going to be Elysium and Ava Gore, if I'm not mistaken, jamming for Pennsylvania and North Carolina, respectively.
Yes, those are the jammers.
There we go. Q cycles up to the front. She'll play quarterback of that triangle if they can get it. Nothing doing there. Elysium able to get in, trying to get that track cut, could not get it. Q puts a big body on and forces her out again, looking to get back. Thumper tried to stop Q from regressing, could not do it. A penalty coming. That's going to go against number 92 on Pennsylvania. Neer will take a seat, and that's going to leave a 4-on-3 opportunity for Carolina right now.
Elysium is still having a hard time.
And look at Q in battle with Elysium at the front. Again, don't want to keep mentioning the same name, but you can't help it when it's Q.
Yep. You know, she just might be the MVP at the end of this game for North Carolina, the way she's playing.
Well, listen, if nothing changes, she's got my vote for the MVP from Carolina right now. But, you know, again, lot of game time to go.
Yeah, North Carolina picked up 3 and left Pennsylvania scoreless, at least on that last pass.
I believe that's 2 in a row, a 4-0 and then a 3-0. So, you know, again, shutting out Pennsylvania is tough anyway. To do it twice in a row, that's good work.
And V-Diva is back behind the line.
Sure is.
And crouching down is North Carolina's jammer.
Yeah, tough to see from here. 3D is the jammer for Carolina.
And V-Diva has just gone to the penalty box. I did not see the signal. But 3D and North Carolina are now on the power jam.
You know, speaking of penalties, we did check the penalty tracker at the end of the half, and the only player on the track with any kind of issue whatsoever was Coco Janelle of North Carolina. She at that time had 4. Now look at this penalty box. It is almost full. 1 red jersey, that is Tutu LaRue. 3 blue jerseys, including the jammer V Diva, who is standing and ready to release right now. So she's back.
3D picked up 5 points into the pack.
Oh, and a collision there.
She does go down, but she's back up. She did take a ref down.
When you saw V Diva's head on a swivel, she was looking, because let me tell you something, 3D was coming for V Diva, and that was the intent.
Yeah, 3D has picked up 9 points and called that jam. That's 3 jams in a row for North Carolina. They gave her 11 points for that jam. 3 jams in a row for North Carolina, leaving Pennsylvania scoreless.
An 18-0 run in those last 3 jams. 4 points, then 3 points, and now the 11. Tutu LaRue stands in the penalty box, so she'll be coming out very, very quickly. It will be a 4-on-3 start, but that will be just for a moment.
They just pulled 2 points away from North Carolina.
There you go. So 9 and 7 is still 16. And now a penalty coming on the forearm. That's going to go.
That's going to
JoJo Gadget, I believe that is.
You are correct. And Snot Rocket Science has lead jammer for Pennsylvania.
You know, just so fluid. Watching, I mean, she doesn't move her feet. She just propels forward. It's
constant
uncanny.
motion.
Yeah. Bob and Weave's going to take off. She's going to be a penalty casualty for a track cut,
which will end the scoreless jams that North Carolina has putting on Pennsylvania, with Snot Rocket Science coming out with 5.
Power jam points. I'll tell you what, I wish I had Jack's system, the old Boom Kitty system running right now, so we had some of these stats. And holy cow, I would love to be able to track some of the stuff that we've got going on here. Just the numbers of this game would be fascinating.
That's 15 points for Snot Rocket Science on this jam. Oh, collides with the back of the pack. Not getting a penalty because she did not hit square in the back. She hit the side of the shoulder. Bob and Weave now back on the track, trying to get through this pack.
Yeah, that was one of those no harm, no foul back blocks kind of a deal. Still running, still racing, still looking for every point they can possibly get. They're going to go another 4 deep for Snot, and nothing doing on the other side of the line. So as you take a quick peek at the scoreboard, 154 to 77 after a 24-point Snot Rocket Science run.
Yeah, I have to say the Snot Rocket Science right now is the MVP for Pennsylvania as far as jammers go in the second half, because she has scored the most points in the second half.
Raggedy Aneurysm going to step in to jam for Pennsylvania. I believe Ava Gore. It is back behind the jammer stripe for Carolina. Electrocution blocking up the lane, trying to see if she can't get Raggedy Aneurysm to slow her roll. Nothing doing there, but everybody recycles back to the front. It's a 2-wall there with Coma Inducer and Q. Q and Coma and Q. Back and forth they go. Who's in front? Coma, the last line of defense, cannot get the hit, and she's out of play anyway, so she'll have to reform. And Raggedy Aneurysm off to the races with lead jammer status and an opportunity now as she very quickly hits that engagement zone. And look how fast she sliced through. 1 to beat.
Oh, there has been a star pass to the Antichrist for North Carolina.
Now another force out.
And a penalty called. And that penalty goes to
Coma Inducer.
Coma Inducer.
Yeah, that was, let me tell you something. I mean, Coma and Q pairing up there at the, what was that, turn number 3, just locking the door, and I mean, just recycle. It was kind of fun to watch.
And there's a timeout being called by North Carolina. We have 1:59 for Pennsylvania, 77 for North Carolina, 18 and a half minutes left in this game. Whew.
I'm telling you, man. I mean, what is that, 82? I had to take my shoes off.
Yeah, my brain
82.
my brain is being melted by this game, and math is not a good thing for me to try.
I'm going to go with 82 points, the difference in this one right now. 159-77, Pennsylvania on top, in control of things with 18 and a half to go. You know, listen, this has been fun to watch, just seeing, and again, just watching the adjustments. I mean, you know, Pennsylvania is doing what we expect Pennsylvania to do, and they've had a very, very tough go of it from virtually the beginning. I mean, a 1-0 start, and then Carolina comes in and takes a 5-1 lead.
Yes.
Carolina extends, Pennsylvania comes back. it's gone, I'm not going to say back and forth after that, because after that it was pretty much, it's been Pennsylvania the entire way after that. But Carolina has done a nice job of coming back every time Pennsylvania puts a little run on them. Again, another big hit there. V-Diva goes down on that already bruised tailbone.
And that was by Q again, along with another blocker. Almost. 3D almost got through the pack to pick up lead. And V-Diva is headed to the penalty box for a cut track.
You know what? We're going to have to do some ciphering on that as well. I'd like to see what the penalty situation looks like right now, because from our vantage point, we can't get a good view of it, but it is certainly heavier than it was. Q is going to come in. She'll take a seat next to V-Diva, so one apiece in the box.
3D attempts the apex jump with no success, has to cycle around behind the pack.
3D had some success with that in the earlier game. She's finding that it's not as easy to do with a team that's a little bit more aware of her position on the track, even when she goes airborne.
Yes, 3D picks up 5 points, and another blocker. That is JoJo Gadget heads to the penalty box with Q standing.
Yeah, New Jersey did a good job in their first game. That was game number 2 of this tournament with Carolina, but North Carolina and those apex jumps that she was able to land there ended up coming away with that win, 223-91 over Jersey. That's what brought them to this game now. 5-0 run for North Carolina, so they cut into the lead, and we come under the 17-minute mark.
Ava Gore for North Carolina behind the jammer line. Waiting to see who the Pennsylvania Elysium. Okay.
Whistles blow and away we go. Jammers working.
Yeah, Ava Gore tried to take the inside, but was blocked off. And nice job of Ava Gore staying on the track, even though she's not lead jammer.
Yeah, she forced the penalty on Grohl. She's going to get another one here.
Gore just put a totally accidental hit on Ava Gore high, because Ava Gore was sitting on the track.
And you can see it on Ava Gore's face. She has injured her wrist, it looks like. She is not feeling right. We'll see how that plays out, but she really took a hit there, and again took 2 big hits, both leading to penalties for Pennsylvania. Inside move, she picks up the 4 points, and that jam's going to get called off right there, and she's going immediately to the bench to have that wrist looked at, and she is really holding that thing gingerly.
Yeah, at the end of that jam, Tutu LaRue was sent to the penalty box. Elysium called the jam. 4 points picked up by both teams on that last pass.
It's kind of like kissing your sister. No,
I have a sister, and I wouldn't do that.
4-4. It's all right.
I don't call that a wash.
That needs to stay in the Carolinas, my friend.
Should have saved that one for never mind. Sorry, I won't do that either. There are people from that state listening too. I won't do that either.
Snot Rocket Science jamming. Bob and Weave sent to the penalty box. Oh, Snot Rocket Science using science to stay on the track.
I think she's a wizard. Because she just made a referee fall and nobody touched her. I don't know how she did it, but she did. I'm telling you, she's a wizard.
They're called shockwaves.
We found a witch. Maybe burn her. Down she goes in a heap, but up she pops very quickly, able to stay in. Put the points on the board. That's a 5 spot again.
Bob and Weave back on the track. Engages the pack with a big hit and push through to get herself through for her initial pass.
Lives up to her name right there. She bobbed and she weaved and made her way through that pack like a hot knife through butter. Great job by Bob. We'll see if she can do it again. Needs to put some points on the board right now and keep Carolina in a position where they can make a run for this game. Again, Pennsylvania really has shut the door on them from a scoring standpoint in the second half.
Yeah, we have 35 seconds left in the jam.
No lead jammer. Snot's going to pull the cover. We'll see what she does with it.
Bob and Weave smiling up at Russian Bayou, who smiles back after delivering a hit.
So there you go. Snot's going to recover.
She picked up 4 points on that pass.
The entire pack has come to a complete standstill there in the second straightaway. and a snot comes through, that kind of breaks up a little bit.
Yeah, she's just skating on the outside, out of bounds.
Yeah, I think both teams pretty comfortable with just letting that one, the last couple of seconds, roll off. Cool Hand Duke immediately goes running to the middle. He's got something to say.
Yeah. Right now we have the hands. North Carolina put up 3 more points at the end of that last pass. 5 points on Pennsylvania. They're talking to the jam ref.
Yeah, I know you can't tell because he's a pretty calm guy, but Cool Hand Duke is kind of incensed right now. He's pretty fired up, and I'm not sure why. He's going to go ahead and get told, back up, we got this. And there goes the hand behind the back. Cool Hand Duke is back in control of his senses.
Take a breath, Cool Hand Duke. Take a breath.
That may be the most agitated I've ever seen him. Just kind of took his hands out in front of him. And
even more agitated when he was calling for that cut track.
Well, all right, maybe not, but agitated anyway. Well, we'll see what's going to come of this one. In the meanwhile, 13 minutes to play, almost to the number. 177-89 after a 14-3 Pennsylvania run. Tell you what, this has been already one of the smoothest tournaments. I mean, this has really been run very, very well on all sides. The referee crew has been phenomenal. I have not seen one question. I've not seen one error, not seen one time when they didn't have full control of the situation. The staff here, from the Bucksmont roller derby has been phenomenal. They are overstaffed on every single position. They've got people everywhere. It's been a great, great tournament so far. Looking really forward to the next 2 days.
Yeah, they do a great job every year, and it seems like every year they bring more stuff to the tournament just so everybody is comfortable and happy about being here.
Yeah.
One thing I do want to say is if the possibility is that Pennsylvania wins this game and North Carolina doesn't, North Carolina is going to be a force to be reckoned with in the consolation bracket. And they might have what it takes to take it to win third place.
We'll see how it rolls out as we stand. No change to the scoreboard, 14-3 on that last jam, 177-89.
13 minutes left in this game.
86 points if I'm mathing correctly. We'll see how it goes.
Raggedy Aneurysm and 3D are the jammers. And we have a cut track being called on 3D, giving Raggedy Aneurysm the power jam.
Now she's going to come out, but she's going to come out slow. Raggedy Aneurysm, taking a look around, smiling.
Getting some words of encouragement and direction from her bench.
Mugging for the bench as she goes by.
Oh, nice job. 2 blockers. It looked like Castro and Grohl both took on cue to clear her out to allow Raggedy Aneurysm to get through the pack.
Nice job there. Power jam is going to come to an end here in just a couple of seconds. Standing and waiting to come back in is going to be 3D. Here she comes. We'll see if she's able to put a stop to the scoring that's going on right now. Raggedy Aneurysm takes a big blast there from the shoulder of JoJo Gadget. Forced out of play on the outside line right there in the center.
Yeah,
we'll see if she can come back in.
She looked like she was about to escape the pack, and then JoJo put a hit on her and knocked her out. And 3D is on the track and through for her initial pass.
Yeah, 3D took advantage there. Coma Inducer is going to push Raggedy Aneurysm back outside, and Raggedy Aneurysm is going to wave, trying to get the call off. She did kind of the little butterfly way down low below the waist, and it wasn't seen, so she got real big real quick. Made sure that jam got called off.
And Pennsylvania has moved their lead to 98 points with V-Diva behind the jammer line.
Dagger to the heart right there. Up by, the 10-0 run right there and up by 98. They're going to go ahead and put V-Diva in and see if they can't go ahead and put a huge hurting on North Carolina in this jam. North Carolina has put in a solid core to see if they can't stop her with Coco and the Antichrist.
Yeah, Ava Gore. Oh, and V Diva going to the penalty box, giving North Carolina the power jam. When this jam started, Ava Gore was crouched so low, she was at knee level of all the skaters in front of her, and she's working against the pack trying to get through.
She can't seem to get away from this circle of blue. Teflon Donna.
Oh, Teflon Donna going to the penalty box.
Kick-ass trying to get
Ava Gore through and did get
lead
lead jam status. Teflon Donna got a clockwise block, and it's good to see Ava Gore back on the track after she took that fall on top of her with her nursing her wrist.
Yeah, no doubt about that. So she looks like she's gotten some attention to that, and she's out there. Big crushing blow there. Tried to make her way through and just went down in a heap. She'll call it off from her backside, as you will.
Yeah.
A 2-0 run there at the end of that one. Well, we'll see. Hang on a second.
Ava Gore collided with the back of Kick-Ash, and Kick-Ash didn't move.
Not a move. So there we go. It is a 2-1 North Carolina run that time around. We're going to have Elysium coming to the line with Bob and Weave jamming for North Carolina.
I know I can't hear you at home or wherever you're watching this, but I hope you're having a great time. I want you to scream for me.
Then do me a favor, crack one for us, would you? Because we have not been able to crack one for ourselves as yet.
Elysium is lead jammer for Pennsylvania. Bob and Weave stayed in bounds. Does get through for her initial pass.
Back spread out. Everybody comes together here, turn 3.
Bob and Weave out and eligible for points. We'll see what happens to that, as Elysium's going to go ahead and call that jam off before she's given the opportunity to make it back to the engagement zone. A 4-0 run. Good for 4 points for Pennsylvania.
Yeah, she got through that pack, did the double fist pump. Very happy just to leave North Carolina scoreless and get those points and call it off.
Yeah, that was a quick fist pump because she went right to the hips after that.
Coming to the jammer line, we've got 3D for North Carolina.
3D coming up on the jammer stripe.
It's not rocket science, who is, I'd have to say she's the difference maker as far as jammer goes in points.
Well, Coleman's going to head on over to the penalty box.
That is actually JoJo Gadget.
Oh, sorry about that.
No,
Good catch.
I'm here to correct.
I saw the 3-1 as it was going by and didn't even bother looking at the face. I guess had I actually looked up, I would have figured that one out pretty quickly.
3D up against the bracing Pennsylvania.
Wow. Q laid a hit on Snot that spun her around and stopped her in her tracks, and somehow she was able to get her momentum going the opposite direction completely again. That's kind of the equivalent of a quarterback throwing against his body, running the opposite direction.
Oh, and it's not rocket science. Took a big hit, a big shoulder hit from Grim Carey as she went into the pack, picking up 5 points. The star cover was passed to Missile Crisis by 3D in this jam.
A lot of action there. Turn number 4. Everybody kind of bunched up, and Snot's going to go down in a pile with a big, huge hit. That one delivered Grim Carey.
Man, I need a breath.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you, the minute this is over, I'm going to make a break for the car because it's 30-something degrees outside and freezing, and I'm not dressed for that. And I'm going to find the nearest establishment that will serve me one of my favorite beverages.
Yes, make you feel warm and fuzzy.
I'm telling you, maybe find a cigar and a Dewar's and water and just kind of. I'll pray over them. I'll bless them first.
Game of chicken starts.
Pays to be ordained. That's all I'm telling you, brother. Back to real roller derby, and less of us and more of them is always a good thing.
For a while there, I was second guessing myself if the whistle even blew, but it did blow. V Diva is lead jammer. She breaks through the pack. Ava Gore just getting through.
Yeah, she's going to give chase, but she's got a long way to go and a short time to get there, and V Diva's making a short track of it by jumping that apex with willful, just reckless abandon. Heads up, and I mean, nobody in sight that was going to be able to get up high enough to get her out.
Yeah, Coco Janelle looked like she was in the right place to get her, but V Diva was just too quick when she jumped that apex.
Yeah, well, not only quick, she got up quick, she got down quick, but she got in the air. I mean, she was up there.
Yeah,
I mean, again, for a woman as tall as she is, she got up there in the air. And there's no legal zone that you can hit her once she gets up there.
Right.
So, tough to get to. Wow, nice move to the inside, absolutely unobstructed.
Raggedy Aneurysm lead jammer quickly through the pack. She's going up against 3D. Kick-Ass sent to the penalty box. Oh, and Q takes Raggedy Aneurysm off the inside. Raggedy Aneurysm trying to get through the pack, but North Carolina just holding steady. Q comes out. She had to readjust herself because Raggedy Aneurysm took a different angle.
And Q just throwing hips. Trying to find a way to get in front of Aneurysm to give her another shot, and there comes one again. Grim with a big shoulder. When Raggedy Aneurysm is turning around looking for something, I mean, I don't know.
Timeout called by North Carolina. We have Pennsylvania with 2:10, North Carolina with 91. 5 minutes, 5 seconds left. It was Jam 17 just concluded.
Everybody's falling down.
The
floor is a little tricky.
I think this game is putting a toll on everybody.
No doubt.
I'm going to get up from this desk, and I'm going to need to sit down again.
We're just going to get up slowly to let the blood rush back to our brains for a few minutes. Clearly it's left us because we're just kind of stumbling, bumbling idiots right now. But it's been a long day, and I'm using that as my excuse.
That's
quite all
right.
If you get a chance, just because we can, I want you to just look right over there and say hi to Kit. Say hi, Kit.
Hello, Kit.
There you go. One of my favorite derby photographers in the whole wide world, and some cool stuff. So we'll check what she's got out on the old Facebook machine later.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Elysium jamming, and I'm obstructed, but I believe that was Missile Crisis standing up.
Yeah, tough to see. I'm completely blocked. Sir Lancelot, the referee on the outside, making it a little bit tough for me to get the angle right there. But, yeah, you're right. That is Missile.
Nice job by Russian Bayou, keeping Missile Crisis from getting through as Elysium gets back up after being taken down, and she gets through for lead.
Take a look at the wall work going on both sides.
Even though North Carolina is down by almost 100 points, or they are down by
just over.
Yes, just over.
Yeah.
They are still working their tails off.
Yeah. Yeah, there is no quit in that team. There's no doubt about that. I mean, and they've already played a game today. So, Pennsylvania comes in the fresher team. Carolina coming in maybe warmed up a little bit.
Yep.
Jam gets called off. It's a 2-point pass for Pennsylvania. So they'll add to their already decent-sized lead. 2:12.91, 4 minutes left to roll. So I think we can go ahead and safely at this point talk about the next couple of matchups. So Pennsylvania is going to go on to win this game. They'll face off against Virginia, who beat Massachusetts in game number 4 earlier, 281-120. So we'll see Pennsylvania, Virginia tomorrow. And then North Carolina is going to go to, let's take a quick peek at that again. North Carolina is going to go to game 9 versus Ohio in the losers bracket. And I'm with you right now looking at that bracket. North Carolina is the cream of the crop right now. That is a very, very strong team in that losers bracket so far.
Yeah, if they can bring what they're bringing in this game to that game and every game after that, I believe they have a strong chance of being third.
Yeah, I would go with that. I would absolutely agree with you there. The only challenge to North Carolina, I believe that's not fair. That's not true. The biggest challenge to North Carolina, should it go that way, would be if Pennsylvania or Virginia then fall into the losers bracket, because one of them will fall into the losers bracket after game 13.
Right, and don't forget about Maryland or New York, who have to play each other in game number 12 at the top there. That is, those two teams, I believe they played each other last year, and I believe Maryland won that game, so New York dropped down to the lower bracket. They're a tough team in themselves. The pivot for North Carolina, number 10, the Antichrist, sent to the penalty box. Raggedy Aneurysm through the pack, 5 points. 3D jamming for North Carolina. 3D through for her initial pass. Pennsylvania with only 2 Carolina blockers on the track, just pushing them around, trying to get them apart so their jammer can get through.
So we are inside the 2-minute mark right now. So potentially the last jam from here on out. We'll keep saying that every single jam. Going right back to work here as they lock in place. 224-91 after a 10-0 run on the last. Inside of a minute and a half to play as the whistle blows.
Yeah, it's 2 blockers for North Carolina on the track. One standing in the penalty box, and it's not rocket science, it's through the pack.
Well, she is just smooth.
She's been impressive in the second half when she's been put in the jammer role.
Yeah, again, when you look at this, who's your MVP for Pennsylvania? I mean, it's. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, okay, is it Elysium?
Right.
Is it Snot? Is it Grohl? Is it V Diva? I mean, I think you could go either way, and I think you could throw Raggedy Aneurysm in there as well.
Yes, once Pennsylvania got their blocking together and were able to slow down North Carolina, Raggedy Aneurysm did become a force as they were all being – North Carolina was being pretty much delayed by Pennsylvania's blocking so she could get through.
Yeah, I think we both agree on our MVP choice for the North Carolina All-Stars. I think we're both pretty much in agreement that Electrocution has earned that right. Now we'll see if the house announcing crew agrees with us here in a few minutes, but again, I got to be honest with you, man. I'm going to flip about 6 coins or maybe roll a 10-sided die to figure out who we're going to give this to for the Pennsylvania All-Stars.
Exactly. And even Teflon Donna has put on some impressive hits and did some great blocking for her team.
Well, there you go. PYT ended the game as the jammer the first time she took the star. I think, again, if I'm looking to be critical, and it's tough to be critical of North Carolina, they came in here and did a phenomenal job taking it to Pennsylvania, especially in the first half. A little surprised that PYT did not play more with the star on her helmet, but again, that's where we sit. The unofficial final, Pennsylvania 233, North Carolina 99. So Pennsylvania's going to be very happy that they held North Carolina inside the 100 point mark for this game.
Yes, and thank you for tuning in to listen to this game. It was very exciting.
All right, well, we'll be back for Maine versus New Jersey in about 30 minutes.
There you go. I'm Pastor Mike.
And I'm Mr. Rat.